Hey guys, Juro here. So today I'm going to be answering your Q&A questions. So I left a post on Instagram asking for you guys to leave your questions so I can answer them. I got about 4 or 5 questions, which is alright. So I'm going to go through them and in a lot of detail, hopefully, since we have a few questions. And I'll be able to answer them for you guys, and hopefully my answers are interesting. So Dennis Domenez 608 asked, what are your plans for the Integra? So this is a fairly loaded question. So basically right now the Integra is my daily driver. I'm not going to be messing with it too much in terms of engine swaps, you know, turboing, engine rebuilds, stuff like that. Basically in terms of the engine right now, it's just going to be just basic maintenance, keeping up with it, simply because I do rely on my car to get to work. It is my daily driver. I can't be messing with it too much because I need it to get to work. It takes me, you know, I drive to work, it takes me like 40 minutes. It would take me over 2 hours if I wanted to take transit. So I need my car to be as reliable as possible. So in terms of engine stuff, not messing with it too much, right? All I have under the hood right now that's aftermarket is my intake and my headlights, and that's basically it, and a strut bar. Actually, when I first got the Integra, since I knew this, one of the first things I wanted to do was upgrade the suspension. You know, I wanted to be more comfortable, I wanted to handle better, I wanted to have driving it be more fun. So I upgraded the suspension, I did the Type R suspension swap. So my suspension right now is the OEM Type R setup. I got it with 35,000 kilometers on it, so it's basically brand new, 98 spec Type R suspension, super happy with it. So it also lowered me a bit, so it dropped me about 1 inch. So, you know, I did that, I did my rear sway bar, that's also OEM Type R, you know, stuff like that. So my future plans right now, in terms of it, outside of just basic maintenance, is just keeping it kind of just general upkeep right now. You know, I'm reaching the point where I've done the suspension. My suspension is done. That's the main part. You know, cosmetic wise, I've got the lip, I've got the wing now. I've got my LED lights, a nice exhaust. A nice exhaust would be nice. Another thing that I really want to be able to work on is my interior. My interior is okay right now, but I would really like an OEM Type R, 98 spec Type R steering wheel. The JDM ones with the red Honda on them that have the airbag, really would like one of those. That's one of my dream wheels. Some floor mats as well, keeping up the appearance of, like, you know, nice and OEM looking, clean looking car. I want to do my dash lights as well, my dash lights. So basically just quality of life things and just making a nice clean looking Integra. You know, I'm not really looking for something just looking like insane with a big wing and canards and front splitter. Not looking at that. Really just trying to keep it clean, keeping it, you know, tasteful. And, you know, in terms of engine mods, maybe down the road, maybe once I get another car, that'll be my new daily and this will keep as my project. Maybe I'll be able to, you know, have more freedom in terms of engine swap, maybe put in a B20 or a K series or something. But for right now, my near future plans with the Integra are just basic maintenance, basic upkeep, and maybe just tinker with my interior a bit, maybe a new steering wheel, an exhaust, floor mats, basically just the end goal being just a nice clean looking stock, well, not necessarily stock, but just a nice clean Integra. So J-Rod Speed asked, will I make my Integra a sleeper? So basically it ties in with the question that I just answered. Unfortunately, in terms of actual horsepower performance engine mods, not really going that route. So no, it won't really be a sleeper because I'll probably look faster than I really am. I'll be the opposite of a sleeper. I'll be a waker, I don't know. But unfortunately, not right now. Maybe down the road when I have, you know, I'm more settled in terms of my financial situation, buying a house, etc., other life priorities. And I'll have the space even, and never mind the money, to have a project car, then maybe I'll make it a sleep, put a K series in there and then just go straight into a sleeper status, but unfortunately not right now. Lastly, Mountain Car Junkie asks, what led me to getting an Integra and was it worth it? So yes, it was worth it. To answer that question right away, it was 100% worth it. What led me to get an Integra was actually me back in high school. I would love, you know, I would look at Craigslist for Civics and Preludes and Integras back in the day. This was about, you know, 10 years ago. And I would, you know, and I wanted to get one as my first car. So me and my friend, we would really like these cars, and we take, you know, look at them and stuff, you know, see, you know, fantasize about buying one. And then when push came to shove, when I had to buy my first car, I actually ended up being too anxious to buy off Craigslist. So I ended up buying off a used car dealer lot, which ended up not being the car that I wanted. I actually ended up getting a 2002 Honda Civic, you know, which was fine, gave me no issues in terms of practicality. It was great, but it wasn't the car that I wanted. So eventually I found myself in a financial position once I graduated from university to be able to get one and basically upgrade at the same time, because my old Honda Civic had no AC, no nothing. It was bare bones. And driving back home from work in 30 plus degree weather with no AC was no fun. So I ended up getting, I got this Integra, and what led me to an Integra was basically, I was looking at other Honda Civics at first. I was gonna get an EK at first, or an EM1, but then I remembered, like, oh yeah, Integras, I was looking at, I was thinking of Hondas. I was thinking of Hondas only. I was like, Preludes, Civics, what else can I get? And I remembered Integras, and I was like, oh, of course, Integras. So I looked at Integras, and I came across this one, no mileage, perfect, and I ended up getting it. And I have absolutely no regrets. This car is great. The history that it has in terms of JDM symbol, like the symbolism that the car has in terms of, JDM culture, and the reputation that the Type R has in terms of possibly one of the best handling front-wheel drive cars, is really what makes this car iconic. Anybody in the car scene knows what Integra is, exactly their, what kind of car, what they're good, what they're known for. So I'm super happy with it, really glad I got it. I have no regrets buying this car at all. It's taught me a lot. It's a lot more maintenance than it was to take care of my old Civic, but it's 100% more worth it. It rewards my effort better. It just feels more rewarding. It just feels more rewarding to have this car and take care of it and have it treat you well at the same time, and getting compliments on it as well is super nice, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to be able to even get these compliments from people from all across the world on social media. So I have no regrets at all. JH_Matt asks, knowing what I know now and with the experience that I have, would have I done anything differently to the Integra? That's a really good question. Yeah, there's a couple of things. When I first got this car, I kind of wanted to fix up as much of it as possible and just kind of get it to where it should be. But some of those things that I did, I kind of did hastily and kind of without realizing the availability of the parts and what kind of can be done to the car later on. So one of the things that I did was so when I first got this car, the antenna was stuck up. It wouldn't go up or down, so it really bothered me. So I was like, oh man, I gotta get a new antenna. So I got a new antenna mast, but then back then I didn't really know what I was doing, so I actually took it to a shop, and I ended up paying I think it was over $150 to get the antenna fixed. And then they didn't even fix it properly. It ended up like the first bit of the antenna was still stuck up, so it would come down all the way except for the last part, and then it would just stay stuck. So it didn't even look good, it didn't look flush with the fender, and I was like, oh man, I paid $150. And then later down the road I realized, oh, people delete their antenna. So right now I'm in the process of about to shave the antenna, make it look nicer, and I'm just, I spent $150 to fix an antenna that I'm about to take out. So yeah, I wouldn't have fixed an antenna. I would have just left it as it was. It worked fine. The only issue was that it was stuck up, but whatever. The second thing, when I bought this car, it had some clear coat issues on the hood, and once again, I didn't really realize the availability of parts for this car. When you realize, your first thought when you have something wrong going on with your paint is, oh man, I gotta repaint it, I gotta fix this problem. Not necessarily, I'm just gonna replace the whole part. So I ended up paying $300 to get the hood repainted, kind of badly, if I may say so, because it looked good, looked great, color match was fine, and then about 6 months later, it started peeling from the top. So the very top of the hood, so basically like near the windshield area of the hood, it started peeling. It actually just complete delamination from the hood, and I was like, hey man, this is delaminating, what's going on? I paid $300. Obviously, that's not super expensive for a paint job, but it's not cheap either. It's $300. So what I actually ended up doing was actually just trading a guy my hood plus $20 for his hood that was basically mint, and OEM paints that was perfect. So I spent $300 repainting the hood when I could have just swapped it, bought a new hood for $50 and put it on. It was one of those things that, once again, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know the availability of the parts and stuff like that. So yeah, I would have done those two things differently. It would have saved me a ton of money. In terms of actual other stuff that I've actually done to the car and that has stayed on, I have no regrets on anything at all. The suspension parts that I picked, I think, are perfect for my needs. I got the Type R OEM. As a daily driver, I'm not going to be going nuts. I don't need it to be so low. I'm already scraping on things, even just 1 inch lowered, which is ridiculous. The sway bar, same thing, Type R OEM, not anything aftermarket. So basically everything that I've done to the car I have no regrets on, other than those two things that I mentioned that basically were replaced anyway, since I'm taking out the antenna and I got a new hood. It was just basically a waste of money. It wasn't nothing permanent other than just, you know, a bit of a loss of money. Hey guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope I answered, well, I did answer all the questions that were posted on the Instagram post. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in a future video, you can leave them here. You can leave them on my Instagram anytime. I will get to them perhaps in a future video. But thank you to the 4 people that left the questions on my Instagram post. I went into a lot of detail, so it's still a long video despite only having 4 questions, but hopefully everybody's satisfied with those answers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram at jerdo.dc for lots of content every day, and YouTube as well coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys in the next one.